welcome back for the 10th time to your new favorite Magic the Gathering Mono Black Draft Chaff themed podcast, Bogstompers. We're your hosts of the coast. Everybody, introduce yourselves for our special episode.
We did it.
You're not going to go first?
I'll go first. Sure, whatever.
All right, go
Welcome
ahead.
to episode 10. Welcome to the 50 subscriber special. Welcome to the 10,000 view special. We've been doing great this past week, and we're very thankful to have you all with us here today. I am one of your hosts, your MC for the afternoon, recently recovered from COVID. I am Joseph Joey Joe. I believe sometimes I said Joey Joe before. I've goozled that one up before. But any of those three is fine. You can call me the second Joey too. That's also fine. Let's throw up next square in the Brady Bunch. Who is that handsome devil?
I don't think I've ever heard the term goozled before.
Really?
Sorry. Yeah, I've never heard goozled. Anyhow, I'm Evan. Either one is fine. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm excited to talk about Magic cards today. I can't believe Bobby and Joe haven't throttled each other yet. It's probably because I'm directly between them.
And yeah, I'm Bobby. I use the term goozle every single day of my life. I use they and he pronouns, and I'm also excited to talk about Magic cards because today we are delving back because this is the heights of fame here. Quite frankly, we've kind of reached the pinnacle of our Magic content career. So we're gonna revisit where it all started when we were our humble beginnings in March before we got the tinfoil YouTube play button. What are we talking about today?
We are talking about an old favorite, our best performing episode still. We're revisiting the subject matter. We are going to talk about three creatures that maybe haven't gotten a lot of love. Maybe we need to talk about more. Maybe we need to talk about less. I don't know. Maybe somebody picked Ragavan. But whatever the case is, you guys at home are about to hear 9 new cards to add to your commander decks. Maybe they all go in one deck. Maybe you have a 5-color pile. Maybe you don't. Maybe you are only going to run one of these cards in a meme brew, like something stupid. I don't know, maybe Scry Equipment or something like that. For the listeners at home, Ev has a deck half built for Scry, half built for Equipment. It's one of the greatest decks I've ever seen.
One day I will do a deck tech on it, and it will be beautiful. That's
Hey, the temples are good in that deck.
Yeah, they are. Play land, draw a card, awesome. After you have 6 mana and play your commander and hope it doesn't get removed.
Okay. That all being said, I detoured us. Let me be very clear. That was my mistake. If we have no further ado, because keep in mind, we're trying to keep content small now. We're trying to make it quick. We're trying to make it easy. We learned you guys like that. Somebody has to take it away immediately. I know I'm going third. Who's going first?
I'm going first, and I have a real Magic card for you. Nowadays, there are a lot of different counters you can put on creatures. And I found an old Magic card that puts a peculiar kind of counter on creatures. I'm going to talk about Armor Thrull. Armor Thrull is 2 and a black. Summon Thrull. You can tap it and sacrifice Armor Thrull to put a +1/+2 counter on a target creature. So 1/3. The flavor text reads, "The worst thing about being a mercenary for the Ebon Hand is having to wear a dead Thrull." Ivra Djur's daughter.
That's interesting because the flavor text I see says occasionally an ally bulked is wearing a dead Thrull as armor. The priest's whips, however, were enough to encourage a more practical outlook. Buddy, this is a Fallen Empires card.
Yeah,
there's a million fucking arts of this.
There are a million arts and a million flavor texts. However, I looked. This is the only Magic card in all of existence, if I did my Scryfall searching right, that creates a +1/+2 counter. There are a bunch of bad counters in Magic, but this is the only one that gives you a +1/+2, which to me looks like design space from the Pachyverse. And I want to talk about Armor Thrull. How do we feel about Armor Thrull, Bobby and Joe?
I adore all these arts. I think the one that you've brought us to with this Ivra Djur's daughter flavor text here is terrific. This Thrull looks so sad it's about to be turned into armor. The thing that immediately strikes me about this card is that the Armor Thrull itself is a 1/3, but it puts a 1/2 counter, which, I mean, that's just, I mean, perfect from a lore perspective. You know, you turn it into armor and it loses some of its like life force and integrity. You know, it's really, that's really a meaningful loot of narrative that they've crafted here in Fallen Empires, and really shows how much of a set Fallen Empires was.
I don't know about you guys. I like Mr. Spikes. You seeing him?
Yeah, with
Ron Spencer art.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Ron Spencer. Yeah, that's a spiky boy. That would be painful armor to wear.
Well, no, you wouldn't wear that half on you. That would be the half you point out to the other guys.
That's the +1 right there.
Well, no, that's true. Yeah, that's that's the +1. It's true.
They
Man, we're
gave
talking
their
a lot about
lives.
thralls on this podcast.
Especially-
Yeah,
This is the
I
second
really-
time.
Unless you guys have more thralls for today, then we're talking about even more thralls.
Thrull episode. How do you build
Thrull
Thrull
episode.
Kindred? You know, it's they gave their
You-
lives to strengthen the Order's armies until they declined this honor in favor of joining the Thrull Rebellion. There's so much lore to these Thrull.
I know. There's
You
a lot
didn't
of
know about the
lore.
Thrull. That's why it's the Fallen Empires, is because the Thralls and the
Oh.
Saprolings take over.
Really?
That's awesome.
Yeah, they defeat the
There's-
Order of the Ebon Hand. They defeat the dwarves. I think it's the dwarves die to the goblins. The Order of the Ebon Hand dies to the Thrull Rebellion, and then the Saprolings take over from the elves. That's the story
That's
of Fallen
awesome.
Empires.
Huh.
That rules.
Well,
Yeah,
Well,
it's about the Fallen Empires of Sarpedia.
yeah.
I'm glad we got there from Armor Thrall, and it's +1/+2 counter.
The Thralls
Is that
are
the worst-
unionizing.
we should go back. They should reprint this. Imagine this being reprinted in Modern Magic. A +1/+2 counter.
They just
I'd
do one of
make it
those
do it.
little stupid punch outs.
Yeah, no, I know. Well, that's Armor Thrall. I brought it.
Wow.
I showed it off. We're done with show and tell.
Well,
Are we we're not ranking them. This isn't a ranking video.
no. We
No,
just,
no.
We
Yeah,
just
we
show
don't just
them.
give it a
We
grade.
tell them that they should put it in their commander decks, and then we move on to the
Yeah,
next
you should run.
one.
You should run Armor Thrall.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
probably
what
good.
commander deck we putting this in? Edrixar?
Yep. It's in your
There we
Thrall
go.
deck.
Great.
Easy. Done.
I think you put it in one of the ones that like Ikoria ones that cares about having different type of counters. Unfortunately, it's not in the right colors for Perry the Pulverizer. But I think there's gonna be some
Yeah.
something that includes black that cares about counters.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but Mr.
That seems like a
Encyclopedia
great place for our
might.
commenters to come in and tell us where are
True.
you running Armor Thrull?
Where are you running Armor Thrall?
Somewhere.
That's a great question.
I think Bobby just made up a commander. I don't think that's real. Anyways,
Bobby, what you got for
speaking
us?
of Bobby,
Yeah, you know what I'm not making up? I'm going to talk about the latest set that just came out. Now, Wizards might be done with Edge of Eternities. They've moved on to Spider-Man. They've moved on to Avatar. But we're still basking in the glory that is Edge of Eternities, and a card that completely slipped under my radar. And after I got a chance to play with this card, it is one of my new favorite underrated gems. I want to talk about the uncommon Craterhoof itself, Glacier Godmaw. Glacier Godmaw is a 7 mana, 5 and 2 green creature Leviathan, one of 2 mono green Leviathans introduced in Edge of Eternities. It is a 6/6 with trample. When this creature enters, make a lander token, and landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain vigilance and haste until end of turn. This card is the house of all time. I know we mentioned it very briefly last time as kind of this like ode to one of the Star Wars monsters. This is an incredible card. It showcases this whole world. It showcases what, you know, the creatures lurk under a Vendo. Yeah, it's really delightful. I love this card. I think it is, you know, going to be a really underrated, because I think when people go to budget replacements for Craterhoof, they're going to think of Endray's Forerunners first. They're going to think of these cards that have existed for a while, and I think this card is going to beat you in more games of Commander than you ever expect. They're going to play this, and they're going to play Evolving Wilds, and they're just going to kill the whole table dead, and you will lose to an uncommon. This card is just delightful. But what do you guys think about Glacier Godmaw? How many games are you going to lose to this What do you think? Would you keep this guy as a pet? He's kind of cute. He's so nice.
My house not big enough, and I fear that the worm would eat Bowser. Um, I love this card though. I
Not a
love Edge of
worm.
Eternities. Not a worm, a Leviathan. Excuse
Leviathan.
me. My bad. This Leviathan would eat Bowser. Uh, yeah, love Edge of Eternities. I had a fun limited this set rules. And this guy is also. I think we talked about it that night we were looking at your cards, Bobby. Of like this card is sweet and it's just basically Crater Hoof it uncommon. I think it will kill people. I don't know who here is going to put it in their deck, but I'm sure I'll lose to one of you playing it.
I don't think this is a Crater Hoof because it's missing a very key point, which is trample. I think you need trample. Otherwise, like, you're not going to take out the tokens player at the table. You're not going to be being a guy who has a bunch of piddly little shit. I think it's interesting, but I think you need another thing to justify it. This is a win con still. Like, I think this is still a way you can close games, but I think it needs to justify its space a little better, which is why I could see it in, like, middle Kiora or I guess old Kiora, because there's only 2 Kiora commanders. Or the priest of Thassa, whatever his name is. It's like Kessina. It's some fake ancient Greek bullshit. I think you want to look at either like the landfall, so either like a deck that can consistently get a ton of landfall triggers, or you want to look at the fact that it's a Leviathan in a deck that's running Whelming Wave. Even still, keep in mind there's a lot of backup Crater Hooves these days. Like, you mentioned Endrace Forerunners, but like there's also Decimator of the Provinces, there's also Pathbreaker Ibex. Like, there's a million of them, and most of them are worthless because they keep reprinting Crater Hoof, so you could just buy it for $20 now. I don't think this is great as a Crater Hoof replacement. I think you want something else to justify its inclusion. I think you want to look at 2 parts of this card rather than just one.
Yeah, maybe this is
Now,
the Crater Hoof for lands decks and not the Crater Hoof for tokens decks. I think the big thing is that it gives haste, right? Like, all of a sudden, like, this thing can just swing in out of nowhere and then it is still fine on defense. I think the difference between this and a Crater Hoof is that you don't need to win immediately. It does the end race Forerunner thing of giving vigilance, which means that you have another turn to win, so you can take out the 1 or 2 players who are being the biggest of threats and then save everything to deal with the last person. And as we know from our Commander games, that always famously works out, and if you kill 2 people, you won't get killed on the crackback. That's totally fine.
No, never. Joe, you didn't answer one question that Bobby posed, which is, would you keep this guy as a pet?
I mean, yeah, I could call him this beast.
Awesome.
Not a beast.
I have an innate relationship with all animals. It would see me as the alpha.
Definitely.
Well, in that case, you want to tell us what your next card is, Joe?
I would love to talk about this card that I've had prepared for the last few weeks and didn't just put into the script about 10 minutes ago. This is Goretusk Firebeast. Sorry, I was looking a little ahead when it came to the beast. Weirdly, not part of our top 10 beasts episode. I don't know why, because this thing's awesome. It is a 6 mana. On the card, it just says creature beast. It's been errated to being an elemental boar beast. When it comes into play, it deals 4 damage to target player. It's a 2/2 for 6 mana. And it says, as a youth, Kamal took one for a pet. His hair has yet to grow back. It was printed in Judgment once. It's worth 7 cents, and it's never been reprinted again. I'm
surprised.
This is a house in your boar deck. This is a house in your beasts deck. In your elementals deck, it's pretty good. It features 2 creature types we've talked about on the pod before. It's snorting fire and incinerating a dude. 4 damage. That's more than a lightning bolt. And you only need to pay for a 6 mana 2/2 to get it. It only targets players, so don't go trying to remove creatures on the board. But that's fine. You win games by reducing life totals to 0.
Yeah, this is basically Flame Tongue Kavu, except it hits players.
Yeah, this is Flame Tongue Kavu if it was good, because it gets rid of like the false choice that you would have.
Also, if it was a boar.
Other reason it's better. What do we
Yeah.
think about Goretusk Firebeast? Carrying on my favorite tradition in Magic, which is just 4 words slammed together for a card name.
Again, from a Vorthos perspective, I'm really deeply appreciating that they felt the need to justify why Kamal is bald on all of his other cards. We didn't need a lore explanation for that. He could have just been bald, but some guy was like, no, we have the answer, and made this 6-mana 2/2. We've brought up a
What
lot
deck
of
are we not putting
unplayable
listed?
cards, I think, on the
What do we not-
obscure cards episode. This is maybe at the top of that list.
You think this is
We
more
talked-
unplayable than Armor Thrall? I think that I would argue this is probably better than Armor Thrall.
If we're counting brought up a little wide, we did put Spur Grappler as the fucking art of that episode, to be clear too.
What card that we're not going to talk about is going to be the art of this episode?
Well, we can't talk about it.
Yeah.
That's true. We'll figure it out later. It's like Fight Club.
Maybe we'll put in. I have a card backup because audience. I was told last minute that I needed to include a boar. So I picked this one. There is another card that I'm not going to talk about today that maybe will feature as the episode art because it's got great art.
Also, the reason we wanted a boar is because we were doing sound checks, and I was talking about the new season of Hearthstone Battlegrounds, and was talking about winning with Quillbore instead of the phrase "pig go oink." And Bobby wanted a sound clip of that, and so that's why Joe has brought us a boar today. And now Bobby has.
So
a
now
sound
you
clip.
all
You're
out
welcome.
there have a sound clip of Ev going "pig go oink" to use in all your sick, twisted fantasies. Would we play this
Weird.
in Hearthstone Battlegrounds?
Absolutely, dude. Play some blood
Yeah.
gems on this. Hell yeah. That's a different.
So that's
podcast.
all it would take to make this playable. Is we would put it in a different game.
Yeah. I
Yep.
could see that. Like playing this in Uno, and I think that would. Because I think when you don't have to pay 6 mana for it, here's why it's worse than Armored Thrull. Is because Armored Thrull at least costs 3 mana. Like you can cast it in a game. If you cast a 6 mana 2/2 that deals 4 damage to target player, you're just gonna lose that game. I'm so sorry.
You
Bobby,
gotta watch out. I'm gonna fucking style on you one game. I'm gonna cast this and then I'm gonna kill you.
You gotta double your enters the battlefield effects and some damage doublers in red. Get to a point where you can deal 40 damage with 6 mana. It's
With
possible.
Goretusk
I think you can do it.
It would be you'd do Furnaces of Wrath, you do Dictate of the Twin Gods, you
Yeah.
do City on Fire, and then you play this in a Saskia deck. So no, I think that's just combat damages to other players. I don't think it's all damage. Damn.
We
Well,
can do it. We can,
we can
solve
break
this
it.
card.
We'll break it. Really, the answer is you play Panharmonicon with all your damage doublers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's what you should do with Slinza. You should replace all your other beasts with this guy, and then illegally, and then run Panharmonicon.
Listen, when
You're
this
good.
costs
You're
4
good.
mana, it's still bad.
I think it's better for 4 mana.
Yeah. I mean,
I
Well,
would-
that's what happens when you
I-
reduce anything by 2.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair. All right, are
I
we done
don't know of
talking
a
about
card
this
that if you reduced its mana value by 2, it's as bad as it used to be.
well, here's the thing. I think this card is still a trap at 4 mana, but I think it's more of a trap because it looks more appealing. So in that way, it might be worse. You know?
Okay. Everybody's
move
done
on.
clowning on my fucking cards that I like. Ev, what are you talking about?
I'm swinging us back to Duskmorn. So
Oh god.
we've gone through 2 cards in the past where in the flavor text something in the card has a name, but today I want to talk about Toby, Beastie Befriender. Toby Beastie Befriender is for 2 and a white. You get a legendary creature, human wizard. When Toby Beastie Befriender enters, you create a 4/4 white beast creature token with this creature can attack or block alone. And then as long as you control 4 or more creature tokens you control have flying. It's a 1/1. The flavor text, the most important part of why I'm bringing this card up, reads, "Sure, I'm pretty small, but Gribble isn't, so I don't get scared." The big guy behind him, that's Gribble. I want to talk about Gribble. We've talked about
Good.
Oglor
You wanna
and
talk about-
Zern-Niffles. Now we're talking about Gribble.
Do you want to know about something about Gribble?
Yeah, I would love to know about Gribble.
Fun fact, Gribble actually also features in the flavor text of the command tower from Duskmorn Commander. Let me
Oh,
pull that up for you. It's
That's
another
very
really
neat.
cute flavor text.
Yeah.
Here you go. Look at this.
I'm looking, and so are our
I'm
viewers
posting
right
it.
now.
Don't worry.
Okay, that's okay. Well, I'll look in a second.
It's me
I
and
do.
Gribble's special fort. None of the bad things can get us in there.
That's very sweet. I also like Toby as a card. If my memory serves correctly, it was one of the first Duskborn cards we saw, right? When they were like previewing the set
Yeah.
initially. Yeah. I think it's not maybe like not your best tokens piece, but I think being able to, if you're doing a go wide deck and you can give your creature tokens flying's good. Flying's good in pretty much every format. Swinging in a bunch of little creature tokens, giving them flying, that feels pretty good to me. I like Toby. If you can, flicker or bounce Toby and get a bunch of 4/4s, that's pretty solid. I think would be a fun commander to brew around. And just, I had the idea to make a Toby deck where every creature you play brings a friend, and so every creature enters and makes another token. And so it's just your bring a friend deck. So I might brew that at some point. But yeah,
That's
Toby's
cute.
a good card. It is cute. Toby's a good card. Duskborn is mostly good. It's like 80% good. And I wanted to talk about Gribble. So that's why we have Toby Beastie Befriender here with us today.
It is.
As the person who's probably resolved the most Tobies, because I do play this. I play this in my Jim Henson theme deck.
Sure.
I don't think you've seen it, but I've definitely resolved it against Bobby before. No, this is just a great card. This is a fucking killer tokens card. Like, you are moderating it. Like, giving all your tokens flying rips ass, and making a big token with it is awesome. This triggers your Benny. This triggers your Idol of Oblivion. This makes your whole board virtually be unblockable against some decks. You want this in your tokens build. Like, this is awesome. This is a fantastic card.
Sweet.
I think the one problem with Toby is they had the potential to print this as the second non-acorn, non-silver border child creature type card. But instead this is a human wizard, which I do want to know how this 7-year-old child became a wizard. I'm not saying that Toby couldn't do it. I'm really proud of Toby. I think Toby's delightful. I don't know how he became a wizard.
I mean, he's got those cool headphones on. Yeah, the headphones and glasses. I will say it. So not a segue off of that. Unrelated. Gribble does have a specific beast art for his token. If you go under Toby,
it's great.
Yeah, it's very cute. I love all the beasties from Duskborn. I like them a lot as like a lighter horror section of it. And yeah, maybe we'll get a bring a friend deck tech soon once I build that deck. And maybe that will be on the channel. Who knows? Who's to say?
Evan's promising a lot of sick techs today.
It is a sick card. Yeah, I'm proposing a lot, and a lot of them are in colors I don't usually play, which is Azorius and then mono white. Anyhow,
I can help you. I play those colors.
I know. Well, I play blue. I just don't play white with it usually. I play with red, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Well, is that all? You guys got anything else to say about Toby?
He's great.
I love him.
Yeah.
I love him as a card. I love him as a character. He's cool.
Yeah.
Like, this is, I think, the good side of the survivors stuff. Like, I think Toby is interesting. You know, like, he's a little kid. He's being sheltered from the horrors of Duskborn by Gribble. Like, it's a kind of cute, almost like Burton-esque, or like Sendak-esque storyline. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't love the teenagers, but I like him. I think more Toby. I really hope that Wizards doesn't get the wrong interpretation of Duskborn and like doesn't feature any stories like this, because they have gone on record saying that they understand the survivors were not popular. I hope that they just take that to mean like no more cheerleaders and not no more Toby and Gribble.
I also think in terms of the art, there is part in the original like setting document about how survivors built their clothes out of like stuff from the house, and it looks like Toby is supposed to blend in with the room he's in, and I like that. Like, he looks like he's in like a playroom. His outfit is like striped and looks like he should like be able to lie down or press himself to the wall and not be seen by all the axe wielding murderers that are coming by to try and shining him. The kid doesn't die in the shining, but they're gonna try it. But then he's gonna get eaten by Gribble. Sorry, Jack Nicholson.
That'd be a much
Bobby,
better
what do you got
movie.
for us next?
That would be a terrific film. It would be in my top 4 on Letterboxd if that was the case.
He's in the hedge mages at the end, and a giant like Henson-esque puppet just fucking snaps him up instead of him freezing to death. That'd be a better. Well, actually,
yeah, let's do a Shining Labyrinth crossover. Sure,
please.
if I'm not wrong, I believe in the Shining Book, the Hedgemaze comes to life and he gets killed by those instead of freezing to death.
No, no, no.
They're all the maybe I might be wrong, but that's okay.
I think it explodes or something. I don't know.
Something happens.
The
Anyways,
big thing is that this guy doesn't show up, and that's
there's
a
no
real
Gribble.
tragedy.
All right, Bobby, what's next? We're done with Gribble. We're done with Toby.
I'm gonna bring it down. I didn't want to be a Debbie Downer on this podcast, but in preparation for these obscure cards episodes, part of what I did was just hit the random card button on Scryfall, as we all tend to do from time to time. And I found a actually very beautiful and tragic card that you may have missed from Avacyn Restored. I'm not terribly familiar with this set. It often gets overshadowed by its older brothers in Innistrad and Dark Ascension, as the story goes that Avacyn Restored was kind of created as a relief. The designers rather, were worried that people wouldn't resonate with the horror of Innistrad, and it's kind of has a whole different design team. That's why we see things like Miracle and a big fight between angels and demons, and not kind of this horror trope that was initiated in Innistrad. But a few cards still made it into Avacyn Restored that I think showcase this horror theme really, really well. So I want to present you all with a card called Gallows at Willow Hill. Gallows at Willow Hill is for 3 mana. It is an artifact, colorless artifact. You can pay 3 and tap it, and tap 3 untapped humans you control. Destroy target creature. Its controller creates a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. No flavor text, just a silent and beautiful image of John Avon's artistic rendition of Gallows at Willow Hill. This card is so cool. I really like this card. I also acknowledge that opening this as your rare in a set where you could open Avacyn or Gristlebrand, you open a 6 mana conditional removal spell that gives them a spirit, is probably bad. But this card is very cool and paints a fantastic picture for, I think, a gameplay sense. Do you guys have thoughts about Gallows at Willow Hill? You're just sobbing.
Trying to decide if this is good or not.
Oh, it's not good.
Yeah, I said mechanically it's not. Maybe in a human
I've put this in a deck.
What deck?
I was building a Wily Duke from OTJ, who has like the internal puzzle of how do you tap him. And I built it as a human sub-theme, because there's a few humans cards that let you tap humans or give your humans tap, add a color. I think one of the Catildas does it. And I thought, this is interesting. It is unlimited removal. Like, this is a removal engine, and if you're playing like a battle cruisery bracket 1 to 2 commander deck, I think this can easily take over a game. If you're playing the fake format where everybody has 1,000,000 mana, this is just infinite kill the biggest thing on the board, and give them shit for it. Obviously you need to play humans, but every tokens deck is a humans deck. Like, every green-white deck is a humans deck. There are humans everywhere in this game. So yeah, I think this has like an actual home, especially like maybe even like a Gianna Kudrow deck could potentially see this.
Sure.
It has to be casual commander. It has to be low budget, low power commander. But if you can have a way to consistently turn it on every turn, you're getting rid of people's Gristlebrands, people's Avacyns, people's Decimators of the Provinces, anything that you need to. I don't know why I'm only naming Innistrad cards.
Yeah.
But anything that you need to get rid of.
I want to
you
go on the
guys-
record and just say that this card cannot kill Avacyn. It does not get around.
Depends on the
indestructible.
Avacyn. It can kill some
Sure.
of the Avacyns.
Sure. That's what you meant.
I thought that too, but I
Yeah.
realized there's multiple Avacyns.
You guys keep saying Gristlebrand, and all I can think of is Gribblebrand. That's my brain. I'm trying to think of like a coherent thought, and all I can think of is
Notably, it can't kill
Gribblebrand.
Gristlebrand in Commander because he's banned.
Yes.
Jim, you want to talk about Gribblebrand?
I wanted to get Em to talk about the card
got...
because he hasn't talked about it yet.
Oh,
You like, talk
sure.
to me about Gribblebrand? No, man.
It's
not Gribblebrand.
Sorry, I'm locked onto the idea of Gribblebrand. I mean, it is from a narrative standpoint. I think it is beautiful. And like Joe said, I think it's playable in like a really niche deck where you're playing lower power kind of jank cards, but not terrible. The art is beautiful. It looks. I'm not sure if this is intended, but it looks like there's a spirit or ghost coming off of the noose hanging up there. I think that's gorgeous. Again, from a narrative art standpoint, it is lovely. From a playability standpoint, you can take it or leave it, but not like we've seen worse cards today, and this one is just fine. I would probably tell you to cut it from a deck now, but like 3 years ago, I'd be like, yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah.
I think we overlook, like, this isn't 6 mana destroy a creature. It's 3 mana do nothing, 3 mana destroy a creature. Which, in a lot of people's decks and things, like, you can totally get away with that. Like, that's fine.
Yeah.
Just take a turn off and then have 3 mana destroy a creature every turn, especially because you're tapping, like, 1/1 human soldiers that don't actually matter. This has a... You can do this. This... If I saw you cast this, I wouldn't make fun of you.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I think that's enough about Gallows at Willow Hill. Terrific card that maybe you should play more. Joe, you have another card for us. Is it...
I do.
And can it be any better than Goretusk Firebeast?
I don't know. Here's Puresight Merrow, a card from this isn't Eventide, this is Shadowmoor itself. It's 2 Hybrid Azorius, so 2 mana total, with Hybrid Azorius untap. Look at the top card of your library. You may remove that card from the game. 2/2. Stripped of his sight, he was free to only see the ideal. Now, I picked this for a few reasons. Number 1, it is probably one of the most beautiful merfolk art I've seen in a long time. I love this piece. I love Carl Critchlow's art. Number 2, it's an Azorius merfolk, which you don't see a lot of. It was mostly a Shadowmoor Lorwyn sort of thing, so we might see it again very, very soon in the upcoming set. But I was looking at white-blue merfolk because I was curious, like, why do you play Sig, right? Why do you play Vodalian Wave Knight? Like, what is the deck around those cards? And the answer is a lot of fucking garbage. You shouldn't. It's objectively the incorrect choice to not be playing Simic Merfolk. That being said, you do get some pretty pieces. I love this card. I think it's a really interesting effect. Put this in with some miracles. This you could do with our friend has a Marvo deck that we built for her. Alicia, composer for the podcast. Get ready to hear her music in the upcoming Boglets. She has a Marvo deck, and this would be probably one of the worst ways to get cards off the top of the deck in that deck, but it would do it. It features the untap symbol. We love that. That's so cool. Rarely do you get to untap cards like this. And tapping and untapping is a merfolk mechanic from this era of Magic. So it does actually kind of have a secret tech in it where it's got, like, you know, enchant this thing with like a Presence of Gond in your Bant deck, and then you can infinitely get triggers off of cards that care about tapping and untapping merfolk. As long as you have mana. Also put mana in somehow.
We did it. We broke Presence of Gond.
Do you think we're going to get a Gond card? Do you think Gond is going to feature in Lorwyn?
I hope so.
Don't know what a
He taps
Gond
to make
is.
elves.
Yeah.
You don't know who Gond is?
He has a presence.
He's the hero of the elves.
Sure.
Yeah, that's why
we're gonna get the card. We're gonna get the card Gond, hero of elves.
What do we think of this card? What do we think of Puresight Merrow? Not Presence of Gond.
I love the art, like you said. I think it's a badass looking merfolk. Flavor text also pretty sweet. Effect, like as you said, maybe some of the worst top deck manipulation you can use. Not the worst. There are probably worse pieces. This is not super desirable to manipulate what's on top of your library, though. At least in my eyes. But I like the merfolk. He's
you
cool.
could even 4-color pile this. Put it in with Cosmogoyf and Ketramose. That's only 3 colors, I think. Blue, white, black.
No, it's
green. That's
green.
4.
It's 4. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm personally a big
Missed
fan
Holography.
of them playing around with this like new exile theme that they're kind of doing. I would be a fan if they had cards that were good enough that cared about like how many cards you have in exile that it was worth playing this card. I also want to compliment the art. It is absolutely terrific. Very Hensonian as has been previously. We've been talking about Henson. And I think in that vein, this is a wizard. Like Toby wants to be this guy. I'm so sorry. Yeah, this guy's great, and I wish cards like this were playable now because it's a 2-mana 2/2. It's a bear. It's fine. It's not the worst
It's
thing
a
in the
fish.
world.
Is that it for this Merfolk? I have nothing else to say.
I feel like you could.
I mean, I like it.
Yeah, you
I
could
also
see
like
this. You could see this guy at the aquarium, and I think you'd have a very happy You'd be like, oh, I didn't know we had those guys.
I'd be freaked. I'd be freaked if we saw this almost human man at the aquarium in the tank, blind also like that. Imagine.
Yeah, so you're proposing that
Wow.
we put disabled people in tanks to look at.
That's messed up, Bobby.
I was
How
gonna say,
about
I was
you?
go.
What were you gonna say? No. We'll sit our asses
No,
down.
I
and
was
listen.
I
What are
was
you gonna
I
say?
was really worried. I thought the line Ev was drawing was he would be uncomfortable because it was blind. I thought Ev was gonna be perfectly fine if we
I'd be
just had
worried that it
normal
was
Merfolk in
in it.
there. But then all of a sudden
I'd be
Evan
worried
draws
it
a
was-
line. He's like, I don't know if we can like Merfolk ableism
No, it's
here.
bad. It's bad because it's a merfolk, and that's like a more sentient creature than like a flounder. And also that you are keeping this blind merfolk sentient creature in a tank. It's messed up.
Sure. Yeah.
If I went to the zoo and Joe is there, I'd be like, "Hey man, what are you doing in the gorilla cage?"
And
You'd
I'd
be
be
like,
like
"I can't-"
having the time of my fucking life. I would
Yeah.
kill to be in that position. Anyway, Ev,
Yeah.
before I start talking about how much I wish I lived with the orangutans, can you tell me about your next card?
Yeah, for my last and final card, I decided to go back to my first Magic set of Strixhaven, which we are returning to this year. So I was scrolling through the card gallery. No, 2026.
2026.
Not 2025. Within 365 days, I believe we'll be back. To
Oh,
Strixhaven,
I
if
see.
I'm not
Sorry.
mistaken. Yeah, within this like the year of this coming out, if I'm not wrong. But I was scrolling through the card gallery because I realized I never actually sat down and looked through all the cards from Strixhaven, and I found a card I just like that I think could be played more. I have Efreet Flamepainter. Is for 3 mana and a red, you get creature Efreet Shaman. It has double strike. Whenever Efreet Flamepainter deals combat damage to a player, you may cast target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. If that spell be put into your graveyard, exile it instead. I think this rules. I think there are ways to give it haste in red. I think there are ways to make it evasive in blue and just make contact pretty quick and be able to cast spells for free from your graveyard. If you discarded a big card like Magma Opus, also from Strixhaven, casting that for free is pretty good. And especially since it has double strike, you get 2 spells for free every time it hits. That's solid. I like this card. I might put this card in something. I play a lot of Is It and a lot of red, and I think this is worthy in both those decks. And yeah, I think it could see more play or just slot it in here and there. I also think the art is gorgeous, and I wanted to bring it to you both today to get your opinions on a color in Magic neither of you like that much.
I like red. It's cool.
Bobby likes it with a little bit of black.
Yeah.
That's true.
You put this
That's
in
true.
your the 5-color version of the exile deck, right? Like this exiles 2
Yeah.
cards. That's twice as many cards as our Merfolk does a turn. That's pretty good.
Your
All
survival.
right, there was a
huge.
decade in between those 2 cards being printed. Let's not hate on the fucking classics.
Yeah.
I like this card. I think you found a good card, Ev.
Yeah, Strixhaven is cool. I'm excited to go back.
What home does this have? Like every deck that plays big spells.
Yeah, it's good. I love decks that play big spells, which is why I brought it. Because I'm like, if I make another deck that plays big spells, this might go in there.
I think
runnable in a bunch of stuff.
this is the like 101st card for big spells is the problem. Right? Because like Ev, you have a deck that runs big spells. And
well, it has autos specifically.
Yeah, but like rather than say you want to put this guy in it, you're like, maybe if I build another one, like it's a cool card. it is it's not fast enough for doing what Big Spells wants to do, I think.
That's true.
I think you're
I
a little
will-
unfair because I do say I think Otters isn't a big spell deck because I built big spells Otters. Like I went greedy as
That's
fuck with
true.
my version one day because I was curious to see what had happened. And Ev's version is a bit stormier. And I think that's mostly the reason why you wouldn't want to see this in Ev's deck. I think you could put this in a I think you just need to glutton the fuck out with a version of big spells for this to be like the
Yeah,
97 card.
play a bunch of like looting effects and just throw your big spells into the bin and then be able to recast them for free is good, I think. Not good, I think. It is just good. It's solid if you can get this Efreet Flamepainter to whack someone.
Yeah, you could do it as like a big spells graveyardy deck, run a bunch with like the flashback spells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of cards that do shit in the bin.
I
Maybe
just
something with like retrace.
I just think this gets blocked all day long. I think you have an opponent who has, 3 toughness on board and they just block it, right? Like all that takes is a 1/1 plus armored Thrull and they're blocking this.
I mean, I think that's why you play it with another color that gives it some sort of evasion, whether it's flying or menace,
Or just play it with a commander
just
that gives
unblockable.
evasion.
Yeah.
Like, because honestly, like you don't really want to be wasting a slot in your big spells deck on a card that's like 1 mana, target creature is unblockable this turn. Because like that's
Yeah,
not a big spell. I think you just put it in the command zone, or maybe even like an equipment. You do one of the boots or something.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Totally. We did it. We
Yeah,
broke your
I like
Efreet
this.
Flamepainter.
Yeah, it's a good card.
Neat. All right, shall I
All right,
deploy
Bob.
my
All right.
final card?
Absolutely.
I
Take
want
it
to
away.
talk about from everyone's favorite set, Dragon's Maze. Let's talk about Zhur-Taa Druid. Zhur-Taa Druid.
I thought you were gonna say Dragonstorm, and I was like, yes, true. And then you
Wait.
completely undercut.
Dragon's Maze.
Dragon's Maze. No, the other dragon set that they came out with, which was just as popular. Zhur-Taa Druid is 2 mana, a red and a green, for a creature, human druid. Great with your Gallows. Tap to add green, and when you tap this creature for mana, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. It is a 1/1 with the flavor text, only the decadent think magic should be pristine and without cost. I love this edgy boy. This is one of the first cards I added to I bought the Gruul starter deck in Gatecrash, and then I opened up a shit ton of Dragon's Maze because I didn't know any better, and I threw every copy of this card into my Gruul deck. This card is terrific. It adds mana and deals damage. It's like a Llanowar Elves and a Tim all in one, and has certainly a haircut that is akin to Alice Cooper. I always want to put this in decks, and it's just kind of there's a way to do it if you're like in like a Gruul deck that really wants Torbran, but it's kind of again like a card that I think falls to the wayside, and that's what you want to highlight on these obscure card videos. Bring back Zhur-Taa Druid. I think everyone should be playing it. I think it's a terrific card, and I think it just kind of got forgotten about in a set of very, very forgettable cards.
I like this guy. Never seen him before. I don't think I've ever looked through Dragon's Maze and all the cards it offers to us here at Bogstompers. But I like I like him. I like the art. I like his weird claw hands with his orb. I like his effect. I like pinging everyone at the table for damage. I like mana. This is a cool card. I'm a fan.
I really like green plus X color mana dorks, like, because there's just so many fucking cool ones out there, and even ones that are just green themselves, like Avacyn's Pilgrim and Elves of Deep Shadow. But like you've got your like your Deathrite Shamans, you got a bunch, and it's really really cool how they add a second color. Usually when it's green, they just make the thing big. But I do like seeing, very interesting, like maybe even side grades for your deck that wants to run mana dorks that's more than one color in Commander. I mean, I think this you put it with like Cinder Vines, you put it with a bunch of shit to do sort of like a Rurik Thar-esque group slug, just keep everyone being pinged over and over again. You could do like the O'Hare that does that, and as you said, Torbran, maybe even like if you're in Teamer. You can do Gearson Starn.
You could do Ragadraga.
Yeah, this is Ragadraga's
This is
favorite
this
You
is a
could
card.
do
man.
Ragadraga.
This is a man.
This is probably
Ragadraga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you could just run this with a bunch of other incidental pingers and whittle down the table that way. Like, I think this is a legit card. I don't think this is a.
Yeah.
They put it in the guild kit.
Agreed. Yeah, I think you should play this card. I think there's a non-zero chance that in the next 2 years we will see a version of this card, especially because they've started adding like red as a primary color for mana dorks in recent sets. That we'll see a version of this that is 2 mana, red and a green. Add either red or green to your mana pool. It still does 1 damage, but then it's just like a 2/2 for some reason. I would not be shocked. I think that card is immensely playable, as this card is playable. I just think this card is something that often gets forgotten about in a world where, hey, you could just run Rampant Growth because Rampant Growth is the card that everyone talks about. Like, sure, this card will die to a board wipe, but it's fine. It's a really cool card, and you're going to get a lot of damage in. When you're accounting for it dealing 1 damage, not just to 1 opponent, but to 3 opponents in Commander, suddenly this really turns into something that is actually dealing a lot of damage. You'll deal 3, 6, 9 damage, and you're not going to be sad about that. Yeah, cool card. Play it, run it.
Joe, you want to?
Yeah, take us home, Joe. Let's do it.
All right. Friends,
Let's end it.
Bogstompers, countrymen, we have one last card. And now I have to break character a little bit here. And normally I post the most dog shit unplayables that you've ever seen in these episodes. But this is a card I actually feel passionate about being good. Surprise, surprise, it's from Modern Horizons 3. Here is Quest for the Necropolis. It is a 1 black mana enchantment that reads, Landfall. Whenever a land you control enters the battlefield, put a quest counter on Quest for the Necropolis. 6 mana, 1 black, 5 colorless. Sacrifice Quest for the Necropolis. Put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. His ability costs 1 less for each counter on Quest for the Necropolis. Yada yada yada. Activate only as a sorcery. Read the fine print, kids. It might matter. So, this is an addition to the quest cycle from original Zendikar. There was a cycle per rarity that went up. It was quests and also expeditions and yada yada yada, whatever. I found this because I was looking for all of those cards because I wanted to run more of them in Narsi. My Reanimatory Enchantress Sacrifice Sagas deck. And I uncovered that randomly, they added another one of these cards in Modern Horizons 3. This is the only card that's a quest in Modern Horizons 3. I think it's good. I think you just put this in decks. It's 1 mana. It gets cheaper as the game goes on. It scales well with the game. It's just a mill piece. The floor of this card basically reads 1 mana, mill a card every turn. And that's it. And that's fine. That's good. There are enchantments that basically do that, except they give you, like, a bug additionally.
Where are you milling?
What?
Does the card mill?
Does it not mill?
This card does not mill.
Nope.
I'm so sorry.
This card does
Did
not
I just
mill.
make this shit up? What does it do?
Yeah, it's just you. Whenever a land enters, you put a quest counter on it, and eventually you can pay later to get a creature back.
I got it mixed up with a different card. This is not the card I thought it was. This is what happens when I try to play real cards. I thought this milled you. No, it just puts counters on itself. It doesn't do anything.
No, this card's great still. I mean, it's good.
It's still a good card.
Yeah.
I just added a second card to it. I just made it 2 lines of rules text. No, sorry, it doesn't mill. I just made that shit up. It returns. That's the fourth card reads 6 mana reanimate.
It's never going to be 6 mana reanimate because you're going to have lands. It's going to be cheaper, pretty much. And unless someone spends their first turn destroying target enchantment, you're going to get something back for cheaper than 6.
Nobody's destroying this.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's still it's good.
Yeah.
Eventually, you get a creature that's in your bin or someone else has been back. And thank you, Bowser. And no one's going to think anything of it.
Yeah. And I don't think it's the worst top deck because, like, right when you look at a card like this, you're thinking, okay, if I draw this on turn 1, it is crazy. because I play it early, and then later on I just pay 1 mana to get my biggest guy back. But if you're in the late game, it's just 7 mana reanimate a guy, which sucks a little bit, but like it has versatility to it. It has, if you have a little bit of patience, it has, something like it. You can afford to get it whenever. I think the card you play this with is Ice Till Explorer. I think you play every card with Ice Till Explorer. I think Ice Till Explorer is a good card.
Yeah,
this is the card that Joe.
The best-selling card from Eternities.
Yeah, this is the card that Joe thinks mills a card, because it does. When a land enters, you mill a card.
You don't get a 4th card, Bobby. Get out of here.
Yeah, but like lands and graveyards, that I think is the circle you want to play this in. You want to play in a graveyard deck that cares about lands.
Well, any lands deck.
Yeah.
These days, every lands deck is a graveyard deck.
Yeah, Joe said that, I think, like 2 episodes ago on a podcast or an episode ago. We've talked about it before.
Yeah, and I think this goes right in there. But I also think, what I was going to say is it also goes in RC. This is a crazy card in RC. I also think it goes in Enchantment's Cube. Joe put it in Enchantment's Cube. Looks pretty cool.
I've been making progress on Enchantment's Cube. I found even more cards that are good in it. I'm not going to talk about all of them today because Ev will yell at me like he did you.
Yes.
But surprisingly,
schedule.
there's a lot of colorless cards that are good in enchantments.
Yeah.
Anyways, do we have anything else to say about Quest for the Necropolis other than that it does not mill? Don't get angry at us because I lied to your face.
A lot of judge calls about that, actually.
Yeah. Joe just fucked up.
I went to a Modern Horizons 3 re-release. It's like a pre-release, but they're just doing it randomly. And somebody called the judge and said, "Hey, I think this card mills. I heard about it on Bogstompers." And then we fired them and shot them with a gun for being a time traveler.
And that's how Joe knew he had to talk about this card today.
Yeah.
I did. It's like predestination bullshit. Anyways, closing thoughts on not only having 9 new cards to add to your commander decks, but having over 50 subscribers, over 10,000 channel views. This is our 10th episode, so it's not over 10, it's exactly 10. It's like 16 videos. Yeah. What are your thoughts?
This is awesome. I mean, we're all we did this because we all want to hang out and chat with each other regularly, and we thought a podcast was a great way to do that and have it be scheduled, so we're forced to hang out with each other and talk about Magic, which we do already. But it's cool that people are enjoying it and like listening to us three nerds and idiots talk about cardboard for a while. I have fun with you guys, and I hope we keep having fun and keep making stuff.
Yeah, I'm really excited by all the viewership we're getting. If you're still listening to the episode, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. You're a true fan. It really genuinely helps us seeing you comment, seeing you just watch, seeing you subscribe, whatever you want to do to help support the channel. It makes us want to keep doing this and put our time into it. I've been on the forefront of working on these shorts and reels and whatever you're seeing, and it really means a lot to me. It makes me want to keep doing this, and editing is really fun, and seeing that, hey, the silly little videos I make with my friends are actually getting a lot of views is really cool. We want to keep bringing you so many obscure cards, so many weird cards. We want to talk about what the rest of the Magic community isn't talking about. So thank you so much for helping us do that. And please, what do you want to hear us talk about? Share down below. We'd love to hear what obscure cards you have, what creature types you want us to rate, whatever you want us to do. We really want to start creating this feedback process of showing where Bogstompers can go next as we hit numbers, mad numbers like 54 subscribers or even 55, lest we speak it into existence.
I also would like to briefly shout out Bobby's editing. I don't always get a chance to watch the episodes after we record them. When I do, I'm always delighted by the little flares Bobby puts in there. And I think if you're sitting down and actually like fully watching them, it makes them even more entertaining. And I appreciate the work Bobby puts in. I know Joe does as well. So thank you, Bob.
Of course. To even further promote Bobby's editing, small announcement. The video essay script that we've been talking about, I've been talking about at the end of a lot of episodes, is done. It's been written, it needs to be edited, and it needs to be recorded, but We are moving full steam ahead on that project. The hard stuff's out of the way, which is getting me in front of a Word document instead of role-playing in World of Warcraft. Additionally, please, I don't want to be annoying about this. This is probably the only time I'm going to talk about this. I talked about it a few episodes back, so we'll take a break after this. But please like, comment, subscribe. Please engage. If you're on Spotify, please rate us. Give us some feedback on Spotify. That helps boost our favorability. I understand that's very few of you guys, but those of you who are interested in the pod that way, it helps us a lot. Also, follow us on our social medias. We have them linked. We're on Blue Sky all the time. That's Ev, who's in charge of that. We also have an Instagram. I think that's all the major announcements out of the way. That's everything for our 10th episode. You have anything else?
Thank you, guys.
That's it.
Thank you all very much. Like I said, Alicia Chapman is our composer, and her beautiful theme song about to be playing us off, so please, take us away.
Bogstompers, a Magic the Gathering podcast, features art by Jay Howley. You can find him at The Howley on Instagram. Our theme song is written by Alicia Chapman. Bobby Fasciano edits these and gets them online. Hey, that's me. None of this would be possible without viewers like you, so thank you, and see you in the bog again very soon. Peace.